A beautiful good morning here from northern Germany at the shores of the North Sea. Now, when you think of aviation in Germany, you would probably think of something like Lufthansa, Condor, Eurowings, you know, the big ones. But what if I told you there is a lot more variety? So today we're going to explore a very special and important part of aviation here in northern Germany. In the background, you see the settlement of Harlesiel. Now, there's not too much there except for like camping grounds and the harbour. From the harbour, you can take a ferry to an island called Wangerooge, which is like over there. But we're not here for ferries. We are here for this. Welcome to Harle Airfield. It features a 510-meter runway, and you can take flights from here over to that island. And that's what we're going to do today. The airline we're flying today is called FLN Frisia. It's a regional airline up here in the north. They operate a fleet of, I think, 9 Britten-Norman Islanders, and they fly to like all of these East Frisian Islands and even all the way up to Helgoland. And today we're going to take them on a whopping 5-minute ride all the way from here in Harle to Wangerooge, to the island which I mentioned earlier. Now, I actually booked a flight at 4 p.m. in the afternoon because I wasn't sure, like maybe the train was delayed or something, you know, can happen in Germany. But no, everything was fine, and now it is like shortly before 11 a.m. I hope they can put me on an earlier flight so I don't have to wait so long. I think they would do that. That's a nice terminal building. Let's see, check in. Die Inselflieger, FLN. Servus. Bin eigentlich auf dem 16 Uhr Flug, aber ich bin irgendwie früher da. So, all checked in for my flight. They put me on the 11 a.m. flight, very nice, because there are like still 5 seats left. We should be going in like 15 minutes. The terminal is actually really nice, really modern. They have Wi-Fi, they have power outlets. It's very clean, very comfortable, really a nice place to sit in. And yeah, they also have like a departure board indicating how much space there is still on the different flights. So I would say, let's go back inside and catch our flight to Wangerooge. Yeah, welcome to the island of Wangerooge. My first time here. It is the easternmost island of the Frisian Island chain, and I'm actually very early. I have a hotel booked for tonight, but obviously I cannot check in yet. Need to wait for a couple of hours. So I'm just gonna walk around the island, see what I got here. And I can hear that FLN, the Britten-Norman, is preparing to fly back to Harle. It was a quick flight over here, just 5 minutes. The only downside was that I was sitting in the second row, or like the third row if you count the pilot's row as well, because the flight was fuller than I thought. There were like 2 more people who joined, and they took the row in front of me. And the way the boarding for the Britten-Norman Islander works is you get there, you take whatever seat is there, and that's it. And if you happen to arrive when it's time to fill the middle seats, then it's kind of bad luck, you know, because there's not so nice of a window view. I hope tomorrow I can sit like right behind the pilot more or less, so I can have like a nicer view. But anyway, it was an uneventful flight. There were actually a lot of birds here directly on the runway in Wangerooge. I was surprised about that. So I guess bird strikes can be an occasional issue here. But yeah, we made it, and now we're here at the massive beach. Oh my god, look at that. I have to say, I checked the weather report and it predicted sunny weather for this weekend. I don't know, it doesn't look like sun to me. A surprising amount of people here, given that it is November and it's like drizzling and cold and but still, I would say it's quite beautiful here. I mean, look at the dunes. Those look quite nice, and yeah, you have a really large beach here. Yeah, but coming back to the birds, which we saw earlier, I mean, those were probably not migratory birds, but the East Frisian Islands are actually known as like a stopover point for migratory birds coming from the north. Some bird species stay here for the winter and then they fly back in spring, and some other species, they use these islands as a stopover point on their way to like Spain, Africa. But I think that's mostly over now by November. I guess they come through in October, but in November I think it's mostly finished now. Yeah, I don't really know where I'm going. I've never been here before. I'm kind of just going east, and then at some point I have to go west again, because the town, like with the hotels, is in the central part of the island, and now we're heading to like the eastern end, and looks like it may start raining at some point. Yeah, speaking of rain, I was actually amazed by how FLN manages to fly under such conditions. Like when we were crossing from the mainland to the island, the cloud base was like really low, and I think we stayed like right below the clouds, so the pilot still had like ground contact, but I don't know, the visibility was not that great. And they fly under visual flight rules. That means they always have to like maintain visual contact with the ground and to like other aircraft. But yeah, somehow they manage to operate these flights here. Yeah, what can you do on the East Frisian Islands? Well, they're mostly a summer destination. Now in like autumn, winter, it's less crowded really. You do get some nice deals with the hotels. What you can do is you can take a bicycle, go around the whole island. You can walk the entire beach, and actually each of the East Frisian Islands have beaches more or less similar like this one, and you can like walk for 1 or 2 hours. But if you don't fancy walking, you can also take the horse. There's like horse riding here on the islands as well, and you can take like a horse along the beach. Yep, as predicted, it just started raining a little bit. It's not too bad, but still, I would say let's turn back, look for some lunch, and maybe I can show you some of the town as well. And we're coming by the runway here of Wangerooge Airfield. Gotta be a little bit careful. So this sign says this is like the approach and departure sector of the runway, and we're not supposed to keep standing here. So let's keep walking. Do you see the people down there? Interestingly, I told you earlier about the birds on the runway, and now I also saw like a huge flock of birds on the runway, and yeah, they just killed a bird. Okay, so that's what they're doing here. They are trying to scare away the birds because it's apparently way too many, and they also kill some of them. But given how many birds there were earlier, to keep aviation safe, it is unfortunately a necessity here. Yeah, so the main runway of Wangerooge Airfield is an 850 meter long asphalt runway, which you can see like here. They also have a grass runway that's like facing a different direction. Yeah, but usually they use the main runway here. Wangerooge is a public airfield, and at least in the summer season you don't need any special permission to come here. So actually what a lot of private pilots do in Germany in summer, they just take an aircraft up here to the north for a weekend and then fly back home. So in summer, this airfield, and also like the airfields on the other islands, can get really busy. Yeah, but now in winter or like in autumn, it's almost no traffic here. And actually, if you want to operate here in winter, I think you need to apply for permission beforehand. And then the airfield which we departed from, Harle Airfield on the mainland, that's classified as a special airfield, essentially a private airfield. It's like operated by, I think, by the airline itself or like some company affiliated with the airline. So you cannot fly to that airfield unless you have like permission from them. But maybe you also don't want to fly there because it only has a 510 meter runway. By the way, the required takeoff distance of the Britten-Norman Islander is just under 400 meters. So 510 meters, shooting again. So 510 meters for that runway is cutting it quite well, but it shouldn't be any shorter. This runway here at 850 meters is much more comfortable. And FLN just came in again here from Harle. Yeah, so that's kind of what they do here. They go back and forth between Harle and Wangerooge the whole day. Okay, so here is where the birds retreated to after they were pushed away from the runway. Yeah, they can live a very peaceful life here by the side of the runway, but not on the runway. This is actually quite interesting. So they do have a railway here. It is by all means a very nice railway. Look at that nice station. I think we cannot go in because they're like turnstiles, but it does look very, very good. And this is not the only island that has a railway up here. There are other islands too that also have a railway, but I think this is probably the biggest one. Essentially, you can take it from here down to the harbour and then you can catch a ferry. Not entirely sure if it's running during the winter months though. Look at that lighthouse. That's nice. I think it's a museum. And they have a steam engine here as well. Nice. Okay, there's the lighthouse. I think the museum may be closed. But that steam engine here, that's what they used back in the days between 1929 and 1957 on this very island. Well, nowadays they use different trains. Yep, had a nice currywurst at the restaurant down the street, and now we're here at the promenade, the waterfront, beachfront, however you want to call it. In summer, all of this beach is like completely crowded, but now it's like empty. Actually, someone put a tent there. Interesting. This is my hotel here, the Strandhotel Gaken. Technically, it's still 2 hours until check-in time, but I would say enough walking around. Let's try and see if they have a room already. I mean, it's off season, so. And here we are in my room in the Strandhotel Gerken. This is pretty neat. Very modern room. I actually love how many lights they have. It's all very clean. Looks very new as well. I don't know. Looks like they must have renovated it not long ago. And yeah, there's the bathroom. You have like a shower. Yeah, looks also quite clean, I would say. And we do have a balcony. Wow. When was the last time I had a room in any hotel with a balcony? That's, yeah, that's not a nice view, but anyway, a balcony is a balcony. I'm not going to use it though because it's way too cold outside. Okay, so I just read that leaflet here, and apparently the first filling of the minibar is free. So the 3 things we see here are actually free. That's nice, but like if you want more, then you have to pay for it. I like this hotel. What did I pay it? It was like 80 euro, so it's kind of cheap in off season. I guess it's like twice that in like high season in summer. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it for today. I'm gonna fly back tomorrow, which I'm also gonna cover, but for today I think I'm done. I'm gonna walk around a bit more, but then that's pretty much it. So I will see you tomorrow. Yeah, this is like the center of the town here on Wangerooge. I think that town is also called Wangerooge, I'm not sure. It's quite neat. They have a couple of restaurants, a couple of bars. Most of them are closed for the season, I think, but still, you can find something nice here. They also have a public swimming pool, sort of, and like also some other amenities. There's actually also a supermarket here, Frischemarkt, and also Inselmarkt, but I think those may be the only 2 supermarkets on the island. And there are just over 1,000 people living here on the island. Most of them, or all of them, in the town here. But if you come here just to visit, just for vacation, you can easily spend like a week on the island exploring different parts. For me, 1 day was enough, and it's time to leave again. We're coming up to the airport here, Wangerooge Airfield, well, not airport, and I'm actually a bit early. I'm booked on like an 11 a.m. flight, but I woke up early this morning, and usually they can put you on an earlier flight if there are like seats left. There should be 4 seats left for the flight at 9:15 a.m. So let's try to do that. Yeah, check-in is still closed. Understandable. It is like 8:45 a.m. They leave at 9:15, so why would they be here already? It's a nice terminal though. They have a clean waiting area here, and they have some baggage storage over there, and they have a viewing terrace as well. Shall we go to the viewing terrace? What a view. You can see the aircraft arrive. Nice. Yeah, according to the website, there should be still 4 seats left on the first flight. So hopefully I can get on that one. And then we take the short 5-minute flight back to Harle, to the mainland. That's going to be a very exciting landing because, as I've mentioned yesterday, it is a 510-meter runway. And yeah, we'll see how hard the braking will be. made it back to Harle here on the mainland. The weather here is not as nice as on the island actually. It's a bit foggy, but nevertheless, it was a nice flight. And every time I'm amazed by how fast the Britten-Norman Islander can start taxi and like how fast the shutdown is at the end. So essentially you board the aircraft, captain turns around, asks you to fasten your seatbelt, and then you're off. Within 10-20 seconds you're taxiing. It's amazing. And the same on shutdown, like the engines are shut down even before you come to a full stop. Yeah, always nice to fly on one of these. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment or subscribe, and I will see you next time. Until then, enjoy your travels.